In a small town surrounded by dusty roads and quiet hopes, there lived a boy named Ion. He was 17 years old, tall but always slightly bent forward, as if he was trying to make himself smaller in the world. Ion was not weak, not lazy, and not foolish, but he believed he was not enough. Every morning, Ion sat at the last bench of his classroom. Not because the teacher told him to, but because he believed he belonged there. When questions were asked, his hand stayed down even when he knew the answer. When teachers praised others, his heart sank a little deeper. Somewhere inside him lived a voice that constantly whispered, "You are ordinary. You don't matter." This voice didn't come from nowhere. At home, comparisons were common. His cousin topped every exam. His elder brother was confident, popular, and praised by everyone. Neighbors often said, "Your brother is so smart. What about you?" They didn't mean harm, but their words slowly carved doubts into Ion's heart. Over time, Ion started measuring his worth by others' success. And every time he compared himself, he felt smaller. The broken pencil. One afternoon, during an exam, Ion's pencil broke. He looked around, embarrassed to ask for help. Finally, he borrowed one from a classmate. It was old, uneven, and short, but it wrote perfectly. After the exam, Ion absent-mindedly stared at the pencil in his hand. "It's small, but it still works," he murmured. He smiled briefly, but the thought disappeared just as quickly. The art competition. One day, the school announced an inter-school art competition. Ion loved drawing. Late at night, when everyone slept, he filled notebooks with sketches, faces, streets, trees, emotions. Drawing was the only place where his doubts became silent. His art teacher, Mr. Salmon, noticed his sketches one day. "These are impressive, Ion," he said gently. Ion looked down. "They're okay, sir." "No," the teacher corrected him, "they're honest." "That's rare." Mr. Salmon encouraged him to participate in the competition. Ion's heart raced, not with excitement, but fear. What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I'm not good enough? That familiar voice returned. That night, Ion sat with his drawing tools but couldn't start. His hands trembled. His mind replayed every doubt he had ever believed. Finally, he closed his sketchbook. "I'm not meant for this," he whispered. An unexpected meeting. The next evening, Ion went to the old library near the bus stand, a quiet place he often visited to escape noise. There, he met Baba Karim, an elderly man who spent his days reading and repairing old books. Baba Karim noticed Ion's gloomy face. "Why do young eyes carry such heavy weight?" he asked with a soft smile. Ion hesitated but then spoke. He talked about fear, comparison, and feeling invisible. He didn't realize tears had filled his eyes until Baba Karim handed him a handkerchief. After listening patiently, the old man picked up a cracked clay cup from the table. "This cup," he said, "is broken from the side. People would throw it away." He poured water into it. The cup leaked, but still held most of the water. "Is it useless?" Baba Karim asked. Ion shook his head slowly. "Exactly," the old man said. "Worth is not about perfection. It's about purpose. Doubt does not reduce your value, it only hides it." Ion sat silently as the words settled deep inside him. Before leaving, Baba Karim said one last thing. "Never insult yourself by believing lies about your worth." A small decision. That night, Ion reopened his sketchbook. This time, he didn't try to be perfect. He didn't try to impress anyone. He just drew honestly. He drew a pencil, short, worn, but still writing. He drew a cracked cup holding water. He drew a boy standing in his own shadow. When he finished, something inside him felt lighter. The next day, with shaking hands but steady heart, Ion submitted his artwork for the competition. The day of judgment. Weeks passed. The results day arrived. Ion told himself he didn't care, but his heartbeat said otherwise. Students gathered as names were announced. Third prize, not his. Second prize, not his. He lowered his head. Then the principal said, "First prize goes to Ion Ahmed." For a moment, Ion thought he misheard. The hall erupted in applause. His teacher smiled proudly. His legs felt weak as he walked to the stage. When he received the certificate, his hands were still trembling, not from fear, but disbelief. Later, one of the judges said, "Your art stood out because it felt real. It spoke without shouting." That sentence echoed in his heart. A new voice inside. That night, Ion stood in front of the mirror. The voice that once whispered, "You are not enough," tried to return. But this time, another voice answered, "I may not be perfect, but I am worthy." It didn't erase all his doubts, but it weakened them. Slowly, Ion changed. He started raising his hand in class. He stopped apologizing for existing. He stopped measuring himself with others' rulers. People didn't suddenly change, but he did. And that made all the difference.